Dare to love yourself as if you were a rainbow with gold at both ends. As I started to love myself, I discovered that anxiety and emotional suffering are only warning signs that I was living against my own truth. Today, I realize this is authenticity. As I started to love myself, I realized how much it can offend somebody if I strive to force my desires on this person, even though I knew the time was not right and the person was not ready for it, and even though this person was me. Today, I call it respect. As I started to love myself, I stopped craving for a different life, and I could see that the old thing that surrounded me was encouraging me to grow. Today, I call it maturity. As I started to love myself, I realized that at any situation, I am in the right place at the right time, and everything occurs at the exactly right moment. So, I could be calm. Today, I call it self-confidence. As I started to love myself, I stopped stealing my own time and I stopped designing huge projects for the future. Today, I only do what brings me joy and happiness, things I love to do and that make my heart cheer. And I do them in my own way and in my own rhythm. Today, I call it simplicity. As I started to love myself, I freed myself of anything that is no good for my health. Food, people, things, situations, and everything that drove me down and away from myself. At first, I called this attitude a healthy egoism. Today, I know it is love of oneself. As I started to love myself, I stopped trying to always be right. And ever since I was wrong less of the time, today I realized that is modesty. As I started to love myself, I rejected to go on living in the past and worrying about the future. Now, I only live for the moment, where everything is happening. Today, I live each day, day by day, and I call it fulfillment. As I started to love myself, I realized that my mind can disturb me and it can make me sick. But as I connected it to my heart, my mind became a valuable ally. Today, I call this connection wisdom of the heart. We no longer need to fear arguments, fights, or any kind of problems with ourselves or others. Even stars crash, and out of their crashing, new worlds are born. Today, I know that is life. The person in the life who you will always be with the most is yourself. Because even when you are with others, you are still with yourself too. When you wake up in the morning, you are with yourself. Laying in the bed at night, you are with yourself. Walking down the street in the sunlight, you are with yourself. What kind of person do you need to walk down the street with? What kind of person do you want to wake up in the morning with? What kind of person do you want to see at the end of the day before you fall asleep? Because that person is yourself, and it is your own responsibility to be that person you want to be with. I know I want to spend my life with a person who knows how to let things go, who's not full of hate, who's able to smile and be carefree. So that's who I have to be. You may heard this many times before, but what does it mean to love yourself? And how do you love yourself? For several reasons, many of us find it easier to love others than to love ourselves. Sometimes we are really quite awful to ourselves. We deem ourselves to a strict inner critic unhealthy relationships, toxic elements, and self damage. I know how easy it is to dwell on your own perceived failures. But regardless of these reasons for your lack of self love, it is time to start caring for yourself and treating yourself with the love you deserve. Instead of being selfish, as many fears, this self love is a blueprint that shows others how to love you. We put together 3 ways to love yourself. It may look like simple and straightforward, but you will feel harder when you are going to do those things. You don't have to use all of these ideas, but you will find many overlaps and work nicely together. Know yourself. It is impossible to love yourself if you don't even know who you are. Invest in discovering what you believe, value, and like. Knowing yourself is that identifying what are your strengths and weaknesses. We all are gifted, but many people never open their package because they go unnoticed about their values. When you are busy and unfocused, it is hard to access these great qualities. Focusing on your strength will increase your positive feelings for yourself. We all are human, and it is common we all do mistakes and faults. But the thing is that we should have clear idea about what are our weaknesses. This one can be together than it seems. Some of us are so good at self-deception that we do not even know we are doing it. Honesty is key in all relationships, and your relationship with yourself is no different. Obviously, you cannot love your entire messy life if you are making excuses, lying, or minimizing. True self-love means getting responsibility and accountability. You are hard on yourself. You are probably harder on yourself than anybody else. Cut yourself some slack and embrace your humanity. Mistakes are normal. Imperfections are part of what makes you. Say no when you need to do. Once Sony Parker said, "Live your life for you, not for anyone else." Don't let the fear of being judged, rejected, or disliked stop you from being yourself. Limitations are important when you start to love yourself because they allow others know that you not only expect but also deserve respect. Saying no does not mean that you are being selfish, rude, or unkind. These all are unhelpful beliefs that make it hard to say no. If you want to destroy these kind of negative feelings, you have to learn well where these beliefs have come from. Did you ever wonder why it was quite easy to say no when you were a little kid and why it has become much difficult now? What happened? Well, as children, we learned that saying no was inappropriate or impolite. If you said no to your parents, teacher, or any other adult, you were most certainly considered to be being rude, and you would have probably been told off for it. Saying no was off limits, and yes was the likable and polite things to say. Now that we all are adults, we are more mature and capable of making our own decisions, as well as knowing the difference between right and wrong. You are important, unique, and worthy. No one else in this world can offer what you can. The third step to learning to say no is deciding if saying yes is worth it. After committing to something, doubt eventually sets in and you may begin to think of ways you can get out of it. And when you don't have any good excuses, you then have to decide if you are going to tell the truth or come up with a lie. Think about the stress, pain, and resentment that saying yes has caused you. Would not it be so much easier and straightforward to just say no in the first place? take good care of your body. It is so much important to make sure you take good care of your body, mind, and soul every day, not just only when you get sick. Learning how to eat healthy, exercise regularly, reduce stress, and take a time out when you need it are touchstones of self-care and can help you stay healthy, happy, and resilient. Finding time for self-care is not easy always. We all are crazy busy because of our stressful jobs or are too engaged with technology to make time for ourselves. That is why me time is always in last on the day. Sadly, sometimes we feel guilty about getting time to take care of ourselves. Therefore, it seems challenging that engaging with self-care at first, having good health is priceless. You will feel amazing when you give yourself the gift of feeling physically well. For that, just you have to do eat healthy, exercise regularly, drink enough water, take 7 to 8 hours of the sleep, and avoid alcohol or other kind of drugs which harm to your body. Once you start to love yourself, you will never expect to rely only on the external sources for the love. You may never need to depend on others to be happy because self-love is an inspiring feeling to be happy on the inside of your heart. Don't be sad because self-love is not being selfish. Simply, it is not being too tough on yourself and always just putting yourself first. So next time, when you hear that little voice in the head murmuring you that you can't do any mistakes or you are not good enough, just ignore it. Finally, you will be able to forgive on yourself for your own mistakes just like you forgive for your loved ones when they do the mistakes. Always give importance to yourself, love yourself as much as you love your family and friends. Reason is that both self-love and happiness are interconnected, and as human we all deserve to be happy.